Hello YouTubers, this is Eric again, and this is video 3, modding heads and necks. Today we have heads and necks. We're working with Hot Toys bodies today, and I actually found a clone. Well, it's not really a clone. I'm not quite sure which body this is. I think it's an art figure's body, but it has a lot of the same features as a Hot Toys body. This might be molded differently, but if you look at the joints and the arms and the legs, they're kind of almost dead on in how they break apart and get together. So today we're just going to work on necks. Keep the video short. Here's how we're going to modify necks. 3 different types of necks. You have the regular necks, the double jointed necks, which attach to Hot Toys bodies this way. Well, not Hot Toys, but any body. These are universal, okay? We're going to use this in a universal sense. And this is a slim body with a regular neck. Now, slim bodies and regular Hot Toys necks will not fit because of the thickness and width of the neck. And to demonstrate, this is a slim and this is a normal one. So you put them together, you can see it's slightly smaller. So this will fit right in, while this one kind of snug against the side, so you will, if you manage to get it in there, which you can, you just got to squeeze and there'll be a lot of tension, he won't be able to pivot his neck left or right. Now here's where you would need modifying for a body that does not accommodate that type of size. Here's where a Dremel tool will come into play. And what that'll do is you would Dremel around this area to a desired length or width, and that should get you to pop any neck you want onto this. Just make sure that this ball, this neck, fits within this criteria. Now, luckily this is a Hot Toys clone. This fits right in. I apologize, this one does not. If you look at it, it kind of slopes in. And this one is the Hot Toys Slim neck. It doesn't slope in as much, only on the sides. See that V-ish shape? Check if this one fits, and it does. Now, because the neck was at a curve down towards the front, it is stuck with the neck in the back position. It's facing this way, and you cannot move it up or down, but you can move it left or right. Here's where another modification would have to be done, but this time it would have to be done to this. Now, if you look at it, you would have to shave away all of the front, whatever is contacting that plate, this flat piece in the body. That would mean you'd have to grind this down. Now, don't be afraid if you're going to have this figure covered up, because once you grind this down to a point, you're not going to grind it all the way up. Just grind it to a point where you can get that articulation in so that he can maneuver his neck. without hitting that plate. And the top neck joint will take care of the rest. Now, Hot Toys has 3 types of necks. Here's another Hot Toys neck that doesn't slope in or concave in, and it actually sits almost flush, where it'll sit in, but you see it's depressed. It goes in a little too far, and you know, you'd have to mod accordingly. If it's not sitting the way you want, figure out a way to mod it where it does fit. Some situations you'll be able to tell that no matter what you do, it just won't work. So, you'd actually have to either try new pieces or try something else. Be creative. There's no wrong way to doing these mods, especially since it's all about your imagination and how well you want it to work for you. So, differences. These are the newer necks for Hot Toys bodies. I don't know why they decided to make it curve in more for these, but these are kind of not the newer ones, I believe, but the current bodies, the bodies that came out before the new advanced bodies. But they're all compatible on Hot Toys bodies. But if you buy Hot Toys bodies separately, you'll notice that they also come with these. These are specifically for heads that do not have necks. I suppose this is the Batman head, the Bruce Wayne head of the first Batman I had, and just common fodder now. And this is how it would fit. You know, it would have the ball peg there, and he'd sit on these. But they'll fit on any one, okay? Now, if you don't have that option, these heads will not fit these because it has no neck, and it has to have at least a halfway point for these to connect. See? So, they're specifically for these type of heads. I'm sure we've all seen these types of heads. This is actually, I don't remember what brand made it, but it's not very well made in there. This is just a cast. But normally, you see a head like this with a neck, and as you can see, it does have a lip in there that fits very nicely in these. And what you would do is just slide it in. Now, I don't prefer these, but there are people who do. Sideshow, I believe, used a lot of these. I don't know if they still use it. For example, horrible head sculpt, but good for its time. This was the Han Solo head sculpt, and they had these as well. And you know, questions about can I swap, you know, if you want to update your figures and swap your old Sideshow stuff to new Hot Toy stuff, you would basically just replace this piece. I mean, for the Hot Toys bodies, the old ones at least, not the Prometheus, the ones that they partnered up with Sideshow, but they would already have it in there, and it would connect to the body with a spring, I believe, and you'd actually have to heat it up just to pop this out. Most of the time I would just rip it out, and because I wasn't going to use the body, and just pop that whole thing out. And it would break, and it would end up looking like this with no joint inside, so it wouldn't pop back in. But that didn't matter because I wasn't going to use it anyway. So what you would do with these heads once you get those bottoms off is stick the Hot Toys one in. Now, there's nothing to grip it. There's no lip to grip it on the Hot Toys version, unless you find another version. There are many different versions of these. All companies make these, one type or another. And you would just pop them in, and there is a Sideshow head on a Hot Toys body. Okay, so sometimes that helps. You don't want to do that like I do. I'm kind of just being hasty with how fast I want to get this done with. Now, what we also have is the ball socket that goes in between the heads and the necks. That would be this part. Now, this is what it looks like when you pop them out. These are kind of hard to do from newer ones because they're kind of just really stuck in there. So what you're going to do is heat it up, slowly pry it out. I suggest using like wrapping it in a little bit of paper towel so you don't leave dents and creases when you pull them out this way. Now, not all will fit. Here's a Soldier Story head. Now, what's cool about Soldier Story and Hot Toys is you can pretty much swap them together as well, and they work well. But here's the thing: Hot Toys has a little ring inside their head sculpts. What you want to do is, you see there's a little gap on the top there towards the chin. You would get into that and slowly pry it out. It's glued lightly, so take your time, loosen it, pull it, do what you have to do. Take your time with this process. This has already been loosened before. This is not new, but this is what comes out of there. Alright, and Sideshow also has that. I mean, Soldier Story. That also has that. So it's kind of cool that you can do that. This one came out a little easier. But you can swap them in and out. Like this will be the Soldier Story one. I want to stick it in there. But you see it's a little loose. So what I would do is pad the inside with whatever I want, be it styrofoam or whatnot. And then I would stick it on to, you know, a neck. A Soldier Story body neck, which is half the size of these. So if you wanted to use this ball socket, you'd have to use a Hot Toys connector to fit in there, because a Soldier Story won't. Now, this is the Soldier Story, and I'll use the Hot Toys one here. But as you see, it's too small. So what you would do is not touch this, because it's already soft enough. You would have to Dremel out a bigger space. Now do it little by little so that you don't overdo it and you're left with too big of a gap for it to fit in. But that's how you would do that. Now that's all play. So, you know, all Hot Toys heads have these little rings inside. They're wonderful. You swap in and out, no problem. So that is how we would do head modding and neck modding. Alright, so here's this clone, Gary Oldman as detective, or however you want to call him. Now, this has no indentation, so it's not sitting in this neck socket well, and you'd actually have to pad that up. And here is Commissioner Gordon on a Hot Toys body. Works pretty well. Alright, so these are the simple things you do with Nick mods. So remember, have fun with it. If I've missed anything, let me know in the comment section with questions. If you want to know something, do the same. If you like, press like. If you want to subscribe for my newer one, subscribe. Just go out there and have some fun, guys. Have a good one.